our kids get all suited up and ready for our boat to get hauled out. We get our first look at the bottom of our boat, and I guess we're having clams for dinner. We start stripping the paint from the bottom and checking to see if the aluminum is still in good shape. And we do a ton of work inside, including getting the kids' rooms cleaned and practice going up ladders, of course. Rain or shine, we're having a good time though.
It turns out we need something a little more efficient. Well, we plan to find one of these, the first one no one's living in.
We've been pretty lucky this trip. At first we saw a manatee, then we saw a ray, then we saw some dolphins. Having the sail was like a total success because the sails out at the same time. You're going somewhere fun.
Fire burn, water waves the town. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yep, that's what's going on.
So, like we said in the last episode, our steering was not working correctly, and we were in the marina right next door to this. But even so, we ended up getting towboat to bring us over. Super busy harbor, and I didn't want any issues getting over here. It was really cool to get the boat hauled out. It seemed like a really big achievement for us. And even though our boat feels pretty big compared to the other boats there and this rig that's hauling it out, it feels tiny right now. So you saw us cleaning it a little bit in the last episode, but having it out and seeing how bad the bottom was one part funny and several parts a little embarrassing. It'll be so nice to actually get this boat cleaned up and looking good again. Kids got a ride on the golf cart to the front office with Grace in order to get us checked in and all set. Then we got our boat put on the blocks right next to this humongous super yacht. Now, one of the things that we did almost every day, usually after we were done for work, was to go on the other side of the marina where there's this little public beach. It's a great place to swim, and we're new to Florida, so just seeing the pelicans diving so close to us was just super cool. There's actually a lot of fish and stuff that we saw right here at this beach.
Hey everyone, so this is Tuesday, and it is a week that we've been hauled out at Crackerboy in West Palm Beach. And it has felt like a very long time because we've gone through so much stuff. I think probably on this video we'll have already told the story about us getting here and staying at the marina and getting towed to the marina actually. And
Towed to Crackerboy.
Towed to Crackerboy. But since then, we've been working on sanding, which has taken a very long time. We ended up deciding to do it because the quotes for it were like $3,000 or something crazy to just sand off the paint on the bottom. And a week later, I'm still not completely done, but still, it's like I'll be saving a ton of money by doing it this way. We ended up switching from the normal sanding grinder to a angle grinder with a sanding pad on it, and it's been a lot faster, but stays on really, really well. And in 3 days, I pretty much finished one half of one hole. A little bit less than that, actually. I've done some other sections, so it's not completely terrible, but it's been a lot of work. But we found out some interesting things. I'll show you. So this is an aluminum boat, but right here it changes. The keel is aluminum, but then they added onto it some fiberglass. Kind of interesting. They also did that on this side of the keel too. They had this weird piece of fiberglass here. I think I'm just going to take off because I see no reason to have it on there. And I knew this before. They extended the sugar scoops, and this is fiberglass. There's just a few other weird spots that they've done. But here we are working on this, and I'm going to be finishing off this section. So I'm going to suit up and get to it. Been a lot of firsts for everything. We put in a new alcohol/electric stove.
Just getting this area cleaned up a little and took out the old oven and stove. Micah's gonna temporarily install this new electric/alcohol stove. This hole from the other stove is just slightly shy. Look at all that storage space under there when there's no oven. Yeah. There's about the size of a microwave, so we'll see how that all goes. And we're just cleaning up things. So, coffee station, plant area. Gotta do our dishes. Recording.
Pretty much in the hole of the other one. We've taken out a ton of stuff in the boat that's just old.
So many trash cans full.
Yeah.
Besides a few, like 2 or 3 carloads of stuff we couldn't fit in trash cans to the dumpsters, and probably pushing 10 of these huge green trash cans that you'd put on the side of the road, like your town trash cans.
This was one of the nice times that having a car, being able to just go across the road to the dumpster and bring some of the stuff there was super helpful.
And finally found the water tanks. We have 2 80-gallon water tanks, and they were actually in the very bow under the beds that were there. So we're cleaning those out now, finally hooking up the water to be able to use them, but we're like bleaching them and cleaning them and stuff for now anyway. So that will be nice to have, especially once we get off. We have a hose right now that we can use for stuff, but it'll be nice once we get out. That was a big development. It's kind of silly that we didn't know where that was, but it's just everything is under different things. Funny thing, there's a little screw-on thing in the back that says water. So we tried filling up the tanks through that, but that's actually connected to like a manual bilge pump. So it actually shoots the water out of there. I don't know. It's very weird, but then we did find out.
In the engine room on the opposite side of the boat to the tanks.
We finally did find out where to fill up the tanks, but it's it's pretty interesting where things are, and who knows why they're that way. But
a lot of times we find we didn't prioritize looking for the water tanks because we were prioritizing get to Crackerboy, get the bottom done, and anything that you have to do while you're hauled out, and things like that. So
before we motored here, we picked up 4 solar panels that we're going to be putting on, and I finally just took off the 3 old ones that are broken, and these are much bigger, so I have to put some new things to secure them to the davit, and the next 2 we're not going to put on until we actually put our hard bimini up. But it'll be nice to actually have some solar. Like, once again, we have some power here, but it'll be nice to be able to have solar also and have that ready and running before we leave. When we were scraping the bottom, we found a patch in the hull, and so we just talked to someone today to look into welding that on. I think that's been our biggest annoyance so far, has been dealing with
the patch jobs.
The contractors and stuff. People just don't always get back to you. We were supposed to have someone give us a quote for a trampoline in the front, and he was just ridiculous. He kept on asking for different things and then wanting different things than he asked for. Eventually we just canceled on him, and we're going with someone else who came in like 5 minutes, took all the measurements she needed, and she's going to be giving us a quote soon. Or I've been dealing with someone trying to get a chain because since this is originally a European boat, the chain size is metric, and no one around here carries that. So we are trying to find someone who'll do that, but they'll send some emails and then they won't for like 5 or 6 days, and that type of stuff is probably the most frustrating, just because we're trying to get a lot of stuff done on a timeline, and I don't know why they don't respond.
Do you want to make money? But a lot of things we have, like our windlass and everything, it's they don't make it anymore. So it's not, nobody knows about it. It's not like standard, so it just takes a little while to figure out what you actually need in the first place too. But we took out I took out the couch. It like appears to be like a nice futon, and then we flopped it down to sleep on it, and it turns out the frame was like all rusted and disgusting, and like rotting. So we slept on it for a few nights, but it wasn't flat, so it was like
we're doing our best to not
V-shaped bed.
Roll onto each other the
it
whole
was
night.
a different meaning to the V-birth.
Yeah, a V-birth like this.
And then we found a spinnaker in the couch that we didn't know had any underneath storage that we could not get out because we didn't want to get ripped by the rusted metal poking into it. So anyway, pulling that out turns out was a built-in. So we've done a lot of, like me and the kids, a bunch of the stuff that I've pulled out and they've helped me throw out. We've painted white.
Well, there was a lot of carpet glued to the walls that we ripped out and painted that way.
Carpet that smells horrible.
Yeah.
It's also super faded. It's kind of funny how faded it is. Like, it looks almost yellow now instead of like dark red, and like baby blue instead of a really dark blue. But the thing is that it's not clean and healthy as is. But ripping it up, it's just like glue on plywood, and it's not the main focus right now, so we just painted it white just to have it be cleaner until we get to the project of fixing that. So we did that. And earlier we took out the nav station. I think the people who designed this boat were shorter.
Yeah, I couldn't even
shorter.
fit my knees under the desk.
It was like a child-sized desk, and well, we probably won't use the nav station like a desk anyway. We'll probably just use our table. That's what we always do for everything. But above the nav station was some nice storage, except we hear our head on it all the time, so we just took that out as well. And then taking that out, we had to take out a light also that was hanging from it. So, like, there's always those little things that you find as you're doing it.
Here's the old fridge. Trying to get Instapot and cereal in there. The gray bag. This is for reducing smell. It's bamboo charcoal. And yeah, it's got a cool door. Trying to keep it open. And the freezer. I got a candle going in there just to help with smell again. There was like an old cheese roll or some sausage or something in there. It's pretty disgusting. Took all this random non-kitchen type pipes, cleaners out of here and cleaned it out and added these sweet dollar store grippy things, clean, and so stuff wouldn't slide around. So far, I've been really happy with the lack of sliding for things here. When we worked on the train last summer, like, it was a lot worse. Granted, bigger seas might make it worse. Now I'm starting on this project. I love this storage up here. However, this one right over the nav station, we're all Mike and I are pretty tall, and I'm sure the kids will be too. It is exactly the right spot for us to hit our head on this corner so many times. So I'm hoping I can get it down before Mike knows for a surprise. Alright, so I started with taking off the screws, but as you can see it's all attached, so I'll probably have to use a saw, and there's a little electronics involved, so we'll see how it goes. I got the door off, and you can see there's the light coming in back there. Some wires to other lights. Looks like this isn't exactly part of the ceiling. It's a little space there. The tools I'm using so far, Gabriel lent me his little hyper tough drill. I've been using just like a regular flathead, and I'm gonna try this oscillating saw to see if I can get this taken care of. Otherwise, I have a sawzall that I can utilize too. We've been using a lot of the hyper tough stuff because it's like works pretty well and pretty decently priced down at Walmart. I decided to switch to my safety goggles because I was getting sauce in my eyes. It turns out we need something a little more efficient. So I got the Sawzall.
And the craftsmanship is so good, like, they do a really good job making it look nice and be finished nice, hiding all those screws and dovetailing things, and then lots of glue. So everything is like in New England, everyone like makes things sturdy, but it's not fancy, it's not pretty necessarily, it's just functional. And this is like both, and it is harder to get apart.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus less space, so like you can't get as much leverage whacking a hammer when you're like in an awkward position underneath something. A lot of sore back. Definitely been prioritizing exercising. The other day, the kids and I were doing some Pilates on top of the deck. They were bringing in a new boat to sit in front of us, which is kind of funny. I don't know what they thought we were doing, but
yeah, this first week has been, I think, a good success. We've had a lot of stuff that we've gotten done. I think as we get more people working on some stuff, we have someone who's going to work on our starboard engine, and well, hopefully he is going to be
supposed to come tomorrow to
check it out. And we're going to be getting the sail drives out. I finally got the propellers off so that we can get the sail drives out and get those redone and tuned up and everything. So I think that's...
Hydraulics have to get rebuilt, the hydraulic rams, because we lost our
Yeah.
steering on the way up.
But we've
from
gotten a lot of that
Fort
stuff
Lauderdale.
prepared for them to now get worked on. And hopefully this next week we'll get some of those taken care of. And also definitely we'll get the sanding done and hopefully some painting done. But if not, some of those other projects finished first. And hopefully we can get some sections finished off so we don't have to keep moving everything from one part of the boat to another part of the boat. Seems like multiple times a day we're doing that. So
Pretty exhausting, actually.
it's good that we don't have that much stuff. So next week's projects will be that, getting some of those bigger projects worked on and finished, like welding the patch on the side, hopefully, and hydraulics and all of that. So we'll see how it goes. We're definitely in a lot easier livable situation now that we have water and a stove and a microwave. So it'll be interesting.
And the kids have been great.
Yeah,
They're
the kids are
so
troopers.
good with flexibility and adventures, and like even Alana's like, I'm not sure there's room for my Barbie house anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of my Barbie house and a bunch of my Barbies. Like I keep telling her she can keep them, but they're just getting so much older and ready for bigger adventures, and they're really helpful with things. So that's been awesome. We're pretty tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even before the end of the day.
We'll keep you updated on what happens next week, and hopefully we're only here for a few more weeks, but we'll see. We'll do what we need to get to Marathon. So see y'all next week.
We're tearing apart the kids' bedroom today, getting out the mold and stuff. But look, moldy boards. And it's like, I don't know if you can see that. Super rusty hole right there. There you can see the plastic through. Yeah. So far, we've got that stuff thrown overboard. Kids' need new mattresses too.
We've made it to Marathon, been there over a year and loving it so far. We're going to show you our path of getting the boat fixed up and also some of the adventures along the way as you join us on this little journey. One of the ways that we've been paying for this and a way that we can continue this lifestyle is through my book, Florida Keys Coloring Book. And if you want to check out more about that, there's a link below.
Whoa, whoa.